Welcome back, YouTube. I am Evil Squeegee, and this is DMPC, the show where I am both the DM and the PC. We are using Mythic GM Emulator 2nd Edition and Dungeon World for today's adventure. I hope you sit back and enjoy the show. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment, hit the notification bell, all those things that give me the tasty dopamines. So, let's see. The last episode, the most important thing that happened was that we were jumped by we were attacked by the cultists in our in room, and we fended them off. And then they changed tactics. They captured they captured Maud and exchanged Maud for me. Basically, they promised not to sacrifice Maud if I turned myself in with Christina, and I took them up on that option. And that's where we left off, was in the middle of a dungeon. I am yet again captured by the cult. This time I've got myself right where I want to be. I swear. I totally wanted to be in the dungeon cells of the cult. See, this way I can break out and I can totally take them by surprise. Even though they'll be expecting it, because that's what I did last time. Shut up. Getting right into this, we left off with Christina up in this cell here, having failed to bend bars and lift gates, and having pulled a muscle trying to hoist the dungeon cell gate off of its hinges. Um, so at this point, while everybody is laughing, I'm gonna do the same thing, only I'm gonna do it with less grace and less panache. Because we have unnatural dice, as you can see here, all the unnatural dice are disadvantages. So we're gonna invoke an old-fashioned rule, an old-fashioned rule where you could take 5 disadvantages from the same person and turn them into a miss. And that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna hunt down these disadvantages from Tice, and we're gonna turn them all into a miss. Thank you, Tice, for your channel support. I appreciate it. I appreciate you. And that means that our unnatural dice is a miss from Tice. So I'm going to hurt myself. I'm going to take some hit point damage. I'm going to take 7 damage. Does anybody know what 23 minus 7 is? 23 minus 7 does 4 leftovers. 16. 16 out of 23 HP. So I'm going to throw myself against the dungeon cell, like, shoulder first, and kind of pop my shoulder out of its socket and be like, ah, ah, and then have to pop it back in and be like, ah, ah. There's a whole lot of ah-ing involved. We're going to have to wait for one of these guards to approach the cell. Does it take a long time for one of these guards to approach the cell? The chaos factor is currently 8, I believe. If you're just tuning in, the chaos factor is part of the Mythic GM emulator system. It is a system of dice rolls and charts and references that emulate having a GM at the table. It is chaos factor 8. I'm going to call it 50-50. Does it take a while? 68. Yes, it does take a while, but eventually we will be, they need to feed us, and so they will they will send somebody with like a plate of some bread and some gruel for the lot of us. And does the person with the food have a key? I'm gonna call this very unlikely. On a 39, the answer is yes, they have a key. This is going much better than the last time the cult imprisoned me, where I had to wait to be dragged off to watch the ritual sacrifices. So this cultist comes in with the tray, with the bread and the gruel to feed us. They just want to keep us out of the way until they've made all their sacrifices, so their dastardly plan to summon a dark god of Moen, the goddess of night, can be enacted, as I've been making myself a nuisance this entire campaign. And as I'm going to be pretending to be tied up. I'm going to be pretending to be tied up until this guy opens the gate and puts the food down, and then I'm going to tackle him. I'm going to tackle him in a hack and slash. Come on, roll 20. A hack and slash with a 7 plus 2 is 9. So I get my damage in on him, and he pulls off a move. What is the damage I deal? 9. I do enough damage to knock him straight to clean out. This is going to start a fight scene. I grab the dagger off the body, I grab the keys, and I immediately rush over past the guards, and my goal is to unlock the gate that Christina is behind, so that Christina can jump into the fray and help me fight off these guards, because we had established that there were many guards patrolling back and forth in the dungeon cell, because they had learned from my last escape attempt that this is just what I do, is I get captured by cults, and then I break out from the inside, and I take them down from the inside. This is how we started this adventure. This is how this adventure is going to end. That's just how it is. So, how many guards are there? Let's say there's 1d4 guards. Of course, I roll maximum. Why do I even consult the dice on things like this? I know I'm going to roll max. So there are 4 guards here. On the bright side, this is the location that all of these cultists teleport to, so they can't escape me by teleporting away anymore, because it would just teleport them here. So at long last, we have overcome the problem of them teleporting away by just going to the location they keep teleporting to and fighting them there. So this first cultist comes flying in at me with a dagger drawn. I'm going to say there's one cultist rushing me down this hallway, down this hallway here, like this. I'm breaking out here and trying to get here. So I'm going to defy danger with dexterity, which will be +2 because I leveled up recently and I bumped that. 6 plus 2 is 8. I get the gate open, but the cultist deals damage to me. Max damage. Again, why do I even roll? 12 out of 23 hit points. This is not going well for, this is not going well. On the bright side, I got the gate open, which means that Christina can join the fray, and Christina will do just that. And Christina will join the fray and tackle the guard. 7 plus 2 is 9. Christina will deal her damage of 1d10 plus 1d4. She will deal enough damage to knock the guard out. So that's 1 guard down, and the other 3 guards are in the back with their guns. And so we are barreling down the hallway, and they open fire. We have to defy danger based on dexterity. This is for both me and Christina. There's mine, 7 plus 2. Christina's 8 plus 2 is 10. Christina ducks out of the way. I duck out of the way, but it cost me something. It cost me my balance. I'm stumbling and falling to the ground to get prone while these gunshots go flying over my head. Christina manages to throw herself up against the wall and avoid the shots. We have closed the distance, and we can now perform our hack and slashes. Our hackers and slashes. That's Christina's. And I don't get to hack and slash just yet because I've got, I'm off balance. Actually, yes, I'll take Akasashi -1 forward. What am I talking about? -1 forward. Wow. Those dice, though. We both perform our hack and slashes expertly. We come in and we come in with our fists, our feet. It's time for a brawl, baby. We're too close for the guns to be that effective now as we pummel the crap out of these cultists. Let me see. This my damage is enough to knock out a cultist, and then Christina's damage is also enough to knock out a cultist. There's one cultist left. That cultist is going to try and run away to try and get help by screaming for help, as if the gunfire didn't alert everybody already. But so we have to stop this cult. This is going to be dexterity, defy danger. If I succeed at this, I will have tackled the cultist to the ground. 6 + 2 is 8. I succeed, but the cultist manages to conjure the powers of darkness and do what? What does the power of darkness do other than teleporting out? I don't want it to be damage. Let's ask the GM. GM move. Show signs of an approaching threat. So I tackle this guy to the ground. Can I be blinded? I can be blinded. That makes a lot of sense, Pukajutsu. Thank you. And he turns around and he curses me with blindness, and Octavia is blinded and will have to pray for guidance on how to proceed. But we've handled the cultists here, and we prevented them from running off and getting help. And it is time to do what we always do, which is dress up and pretend to be part of the cult so that we can pass ourselves off as cultists ourselves as we explore the dungeon. Perilous Wilds. It is a small dungeon with the themes of tricks and traps and element earth. So Octavia is going to stand up to her feet and dust herself off and kind of like motion in front of herself. I can't see anything, she says. I'm blind. It's all just darkness. And Christina will roll her eyes and grunt as she does the same, dusting herself off, and says, "Just take my hand, I'll lead you through the dungeon, it's fine." "I'm afraid I'm going to be of very little use in a fight," Octavia says. "Well, then let's just hope that we don't have to get into one," says Christina. It's not a good plan, but it's our only plan. And so we delve deeper. Do we go north or south from here? I guess we go north because there's no difference between the two. So what do we find as we head north? 4. A common area with a discovery and a danger. What common area do we find? We find a prison cell with a discovery. A dungeon discovery of 11 is a find. What kind of find is it? Trinkets. There's also a danger in here. What kind of danger is it? It's an 8. That's going to be a creature. I'm going to call it 50-50. Is it a cultist, or is it something the cultists have been keeping because they've been preparing for their assault on Pernrith? On a 47, yes, it is more cultists. So let's draw this prison block. It's a map worthy of Twitter. Yep. So we've drawn the map. And now, so we're headed up, and there are cultists. Formality roll. This is going to be a 4. How many cultists do we find? I fucking called it. 4 more cultists. I'm gonna wrap these cultists. Oh yeah, no, wait, we're disguised as cultists right now, so they don't know. They don't know that we've broken loose. They come around the corner to investigate the sound of the gunshots that had been fired off. And Christina and I are sitting there holding the guns, and Christina will point behind us and say, "They went that way." And this is going to be Christina's Defy Danger based on Charisma. Christina has a -1 Charisma, I think. Yeah, she does. That's not going to go well. That's going to go very poorly. This strategy didn't work for us either at the beginning of the campaign. I don't know why we continued to try. to fool these cultists. They are obviously a little more wise to our wily ways than we are wily. So they open fire on us, and it's time for another hack and slash. We take damage, we deal damage. That's for Octavia. This is for Christina. Christina just whoops ass. Christina drops one. Octavia does not drop one. So Christina just comes flying in with an uppercut, just pow, and catches one of these cultists up on the jaw, and this cultist goes sailing into the air and hits the ground unconscious. Octavia tries to do the same thing, but whiffs, and has to catch him with the elbow instead, and kind of clocks him upside the head and stumbles him for a second. And Octavia rolled a 7, so Octavia takes 2 damage. Octavia's looking mighty hurt. She's only got 10 hit points left. And then the cultists come back in for more, for another exchange of melee. That's Christina. Christina's just not doing well. I mean, Octavia. Christina's the one doing well. Christina continues to just kick ass. Octavia is getting her ass beat. Christina drops another cultist. Octavia is just tanking the damage. Tanking it just so hard. 7 out of 23 hit points already. So Christina is up and in their face and is blinded and whiffing and throwing punches and trying to engage, but not doing so well. The dice are treating her like crap, and it's because she's blinded. She just can't land a hit, and she can't see the attacks coming, so they're landing in her. The stabs and slashes are cutting her up. Christina, meanwhile, is just popping motherfuckers. Just pow right in the kisser. Pow right in the kisser. Pow right in the kisser. So Christina has taken out, I think Christina's taken out 3. I've lost track. Christina's taken out 3 out of 4 cultists. And does this cultist run for help 50-50? 39. Yes, he runs for help. It's yet again time to run and tackle him. Christina gets +1 dexterity to this. Christina rolls a 12 total and tackles that cultist to the ground and just slams his forehead into the dirt. Boom! Into the dirt with you, cultist. And that is yet again the same encounter twice in a row in the same environment twice in a row. So we continue to explore northward. And we rolled a 3. A 3 is a common with a discovery plus a danger. Oh yeah, we also looted some trinkets, some pointless little doodads and boobobs. I don't know what a boobab is, but it's what we found. Like little trinkets of that the cultists carry with them to show off their faith to Moen. I rolled a 3 this time. That's a common with a discovery and a danger. What common room do we find? A 9. Another prison cell. How many people is this cult trying to keep locked up? Like, I guess we also have to roll for a danger. A 9 on a dungeon danger. I'm gonna re-roll that. Nope. Anything that's not a 5 to 11. A 1. It's a trap. What kind of trap is it? A 12. Roll twice. Okay. 7 is confusing. And a 1 is an alarm. So Christina is leading the way. So she's going to be the one to try and notice this trap based on wisdom. 7 to 8. She notices the trap, but Christina can't stop Octavia from tripping in time unless she succeeds on a dexterity roll. So Christina goes to stop Octavia, but Octavia, being blind, just walks right into Christina's hand and keeps going. And Christina has to grab Octavia by the shoulders, but as she does so, Christina will stop, will like lurch forward and almost fall forward onto this pressure plate, unless Christina can catch her. This is the last opportunity, An 8 plus 2, she succeeds. She catches Christina. Christina catches Octavia and pulls her back and says, "Hold on, there's a trap here." And together the girls can walk past the trap, which would have been an alarm that went off and like confused everybody. But Christina noticed it, and Octavia failed to fall on top of it because Christina saved her ass. So that means that they've... I'm going to say we're close enough to the top of the map here that this is our last chance. If I get another dungeon cell, then I'm going to close it off. The girls can walk around this trap here and kind of head further north, where they discover what is a 5. A 5 is a common area with a discovery. What discovery, or what common area is that's a 9? Another prison cell. Holy crap. Yeah, this is wild. We're gonna call that the end of this prison cell. And what's their discovery? Let's find out. A 10. Dungeon discovery 10 is a find. An 8 is a magic item. What kind of magic item? I'm gonna bust out the Mythic GM Emulator 2 has a whole bunch of tables, meaning tables, and I'm gonna find out what this magic item is by rolling on the powers meaning table. I'm gonna roll twice. 76 and 63. A 76 is poison, and a 63 is location. They find a staff where if you thump it onto the ground, it fills the area with a poison gas. They find it on the body of a not a cultist, but a captive who was not so lucky as to break out and just kind of died in here. So they got the staff of Poison Cloud. And they're going to go all the way south here. And what do they discover when they head to the south? 11. That's more like it. That's more like it. Dungeon moves. 11 is a unique area with a discovery and a danger. And we also get to roll on themes. There are 2 themes. So even, tricks and traps. Odds, elements, earth. It is element earth. So we're closing off that box there. A discovery and a danger and a unique chamber. So what is the unique chamber that we find? A 6. The treasure room. This is obviously where the cultist puts all the stuff that they get from their captives. That's the word I'm looking for. Captives. What do we find? How many cultists have we taken out? We've taken out 8 cultists. That is a roll of 8d4 on the treasure table. Oh, look at all those dice. Just look at them go. Finding treasure. Treasure. All right. Down the list, the treasures that we find by looting the treasure room. A few coins. For every 1 is 2d8 coins, so that's 6d8 coins. For a total of 27 coins. For every 2 that we rolled, we get a useful item. You know what would be useful right now is healing potions. So we're going to say we get 3 healing potions. A 4 is a small valuable worth 2d10 times 10 coins. So that's 90 coins worth of stuff. We're just going to call it coins instead of valuables because I hate coming up with like art items and stuff. I'm no good at it. So that's 117 coins total and 3 healing potions, and a 3 is several coins, about 4d10 coins. For 12 more coins, it gives us 129. Christina and Octavia, Christina leads the blinded Octavia down and kind of looks into this chamber and goes, "Oh my god," and leads Christina into the chamber. Christina's like, what is it? I can't see it. And Christina explains to Octavia that they've discovered where the cultists keep all the stuff from the captives that they have. And that there's a bunch of coins here, a whole bunch of junk that we don't need, and some healing potions. And Christina will immediately be like, "Well, I fucking need those because I have 7 hit points out of my 23." No, she says, "Well, I'm really beat up. I could use some of those healing potions." And so she will down 2 of the 3 healing potions, putting herself back up to 23 hit points and giving us 1 healing potion remaining for an emergency. And then the girls can explore further in. A 10. Oh yeah, this is supposed to be Earth element too, so like there is an Earth elemental guardian kind of chilling in the corner. Of course, we look like cultists, and Earth Guardians are not that smart, so he just thinks the cult is coming in and looting their own stuff, so he's not going to attack us or anything. But this Earth Elemental is here and is looking over things, and that means that we can expect to find Earth Elementals in the future as we explore this dungeon, because they have the power to summon them. The power to move you. So we rolled our d12. We got a 10. Is a unique and a danger. What we found the treasure room. What? It's an 11. The sacrificial altars. Oh no, we have found the sacrificial altars. And I know what the danger is this time. The danger is the mayor of this cult is working with the leader of the cult to make a mass sacrifice to make up for the sacrifices that were lost in North Pass. This is the end. This is the final countdown. All right, let's draw this map. And this time we're gonna have some tokens. All right, so Christina has been cursed. No, not Christina. I will always get these names mixed up. Octavia has been cursed by Moen, the goddess of night, has been blinded by a cultist and is dressed as a cultist, along with Christina, who is leading her along through the dungeon by hand. And they come across this big open chamber where there's all these these lines right here are pews. And there are cultists sitting in the pews, and there are 3 stone tables near the front of this big chamber. And at the very front of the chamber is a pulpit where the mayor of North Pass is standing next to the leader of the cult. And there is a further exploration to be done if we escape out of if we don't do so hot in this combat. But so Christina and Octavia walk in, and they're gonna try and pass themselves off as cultists just to see if they can get the drop on this battle. If these 6 cultists manage to prevent Octavia and Christina from stopping the sacrifices, very, very bad things are going to happen. But to find out what happens next, you're going to have to tune into the next episode. Thank you for watching on YouTube. I'm Evil Squeegee. This is DMPC. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, do the algorithm, do the dopamines, do all that stuff that makes me happy, because that's the whole point, is for me to be happy. I am obviously the point. If you're watching on twitch.tv/evilsqueegee, where we're recording this live, don't touch that dial. Stick around. We'll be right back after these messages.